This question says change to centimeters. So let's start with part A. We have 74.3 millimeters and we want to change it to 2 centimeters. So let's apply the 4-step ratio process. Let's start with our labeling ratio. Millimeters to centimeters. The second step is a ratio with 2 numbers, the actual values of millimeters to centimeters. Let's go in our data bank to establish that. Millimeters to centimeters. Now, remember in English, we only read from left to right. But in mathematics, you can read from right to left. So millimeters to centimeters, here it is. 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So on the millimeters, we have to put 10, and on the centimeters, we have to put 1. So I repeat, on the millimeters, we have to put 10, and on the centimeters, we have to put 1. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. Now, our third ratio must have a number and a letter. The number we have is 74.3. 74.3 millimeters. So that's 74.3 must come under millimeters. And our X have to come under centimeters. That's what we're trying to find. Now we are going to cross multiply and divide. As it is noted here, you always divide by the number diagonally away from the letter. The letter is X, so we have to divide by the number diagonally away from the letter X, and that number is actually 10. We have to divide by 10. So we are going to write X is equal to, and we put our division sign in form of a fraction, and we have to put 10 under there. We have to divide by 10. And then up there now, we are going to multiply 74.3 times 1, or 1 times 74.3, doesn't matter. Divided by 10. When you are dividing by multiples of 10, it is a very simple process. The decimal point must go towards the left, the number of zeros. So 1 step towards the left, that will give us 7.43 centimeters. So 74.3 millimeters is 7.43 centimeters. Let's go to part B. We have 0.921 meters to centimeters. Again, the first step in the 4-step ratio process is our labeling. What do we have? Meters to centimeters. The next is another ratio with 2 numbers, meters and centimeters. Let's go in our data bank to get those 2 numbers. So as we can see, 1 meter is 100 centimeters. If you have 100 centimeters, you have 1 meter. So on the meter, we have to put 1, and on the centimeters, we have to put 100. So 1 meter is 100 centimeters. The third ratio must have a number and a letter. The number is in the problem, 0.921, 0.921 meters. So 0.921 must come under meters. and we're trying to find centimeters to X come under centimeters. And we have to divide by the number that is diagonally away from the letter. So we must divide by 1. Cross multiply and divide. So X is equal to, and we put our division, and we have to divide by 1. And we multiply 100 to 0.921. Multiplying by multiples of 10 is very simple. You just shift the decimal point, the number of places, based on the number of zeros. 100 has 2 zeros, so that decimal point must shift 2 steps towards the right, 1, 2, so that will give us 92.1 centimeters. Just to recap, if you have 74.3 millimeters, that is just 7.43 centimeters. And if you have 0.921 meters, that's a lot of centimeters, that's 92.1 centimeters. The 4-step ratio process. Your label ratio with 2 numbers, number and a letter, always divide by the letter, by the number diagonally away from the letter, cross multiply and divide, and you have your answer.